Welcome to the Dead Bedroom Revival Podcast. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode because it's been an amazing weekend. And hopefully you had an amazing weekend. It was amazing for me because I was decorating, and it was my first, it's my a few times I've been doing plastering, and plastering is one of the most hardest skills you can do. And the first time I did it was in my daughter's bedroom. The ceiling needed doing. It's got this what they call Artex texture, so it started breaking apart, and then it started falling into the ceiling. And I was thinking of, I'm going to try and remove the whole thing off and then try and plaster it. And then I realized that some of it is because asbestos. So if you know anything about asbestos, if you breathe it in, it's quite dangerous for you. So I was like, oh my God, this thing is falling apart. So I decided I'm going to try and take it off. And then once I take it off, then I will replaster it. It was the ceiling. Now, if you know anything about plastering, the worst place to start plastering is the ceiling, because it's an actual entire skill of its own. In fact, some, brand new plasterers, that's one of the things that they actually do not like to do. And that was my first ever job. So you can imagine, if you walk into my daughter's bedroom right now, it looks a mess when you look up because it's just a terrible job. But there's certain things I can do to fix it. So that's one thing I'm going to be doing. I'm just looking to see how I'm going to do it. So, and you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with my dead bedroom? And, how is it going to help? Well, there's something that's exciting about this, because we started this project. My wife said we should do the kitchen. And it's something that I've been trying to do for the past. And you know what we are like, guys. Things get into the way. We start something and then we stop, and then, never get anything done. And it was one of those jobs. So I started off, 2 years ago. I started doing one bit, and then I stopped. Then I did another bit. Then I stopped. And it's one of those things that the home life the balance is not great. And some of it's not great because there isn't sex, or it's just that you're not happy. And every time you're now at home, you're either feeling so tired because obviously you've been working during the week, but at the same time, you're not motivated because, you think, I failed at this thing. I'm failing at my bed. I feel shit about myself because I'm unloved and I'm unwanted and I'm not feeling. So there's just this real thing that sort of gathers momentum in order to stop you from actually getting anywhere in terms of your projects and your bedroom. And it all affects each other in a weird way, because the more I now focus on being better for myself in terms of my fitness, being better in terms of what I do, what I consume in terms of my mind and what I listen to, protecting my mind, I find myself getting a good momentum, because, when I'm at Muay Thai, I get to that point of limit where I don't give up, which then builds my confidence. Then when that builds my confidence, I just keep going. So when I find myself in a situation where I've completely messed up the first, effort of plastering in my daughter's bedroom, where it would usually be a signal for me to give up, I haven't given up. I've really worked hard to try and get better at this. And the weird part about it, the byproduct of all of this, and the reason why I'm making this episode and talking about this, is that the way my wife approaches me when she speaks to me about things, and how it's completely different. It's like, there's this sort of, not even partnership, it's more reverence kind of thing, where she appreciates the fact that the things that are happening, and she appreciates the fact that I'm doing this thing for her. By no means is it perfect, but it's the fact that I'm just being consistent. And this is really important, because this is where the trust comes, where she starts trusting you as an advisor and as a leader of the household or the relationship. And this is very, very pivotal, because when it comes to sex and having an amazing sexual experience and encounters, one of the things that has to be there is that she has to respect you, and vice versa. You have to respect her as much as you. But sometimes we lose that when we can make commitments and then we break those commitments, and then we sort of float around doing one project, and you've got this whole list of unfinished projects, and that is really destructive to your relationship. You know, you say one thing and then you don't fulfill. Like I said to my daughter, I was going to go for a run with her on Saturday morning, and then things got in the way, and I felt really bad because I had to now let her down, and that's not the picture I want to put in a mind. That, you know, I say one thing and then I deliver something else. And this is really important because this is what we do sometimes, and we think that there isn't any consequence when you do it. So if you stop right now and you think about all those projects that you've left half done and how that might impact not just your wife but your family life and yourself. So I mean, this house where this kitchen really needs to be done, but I've just been looking at it and not doing anything about it. And like it's just like I'm just teaching my kids that this is the sort of environment that they should live in. They should be comfortable in living in that sort of environment. So there's just so many things that is out there that you can lose, and you setting a standard and setting that sort of cadence, or at least that momentum of being able to say one thing and then follow it up, and be continuous and be consistent with what you say and doing what you say. There is a lot of value with it, and hopefully that's quite inspiring for you, because that inspired me. And when I looked at it from that perspective, I realized how powerful it is. And sometimes we talk about how we're in this dead bedroom and she's lost libido. It's because, like, can you imagine? You came in with this time when I was studying engineering, and one of our friends forgot his keys on the desk, his car keys on the desk. So you can imagine everybody was thinking of something fun to do. And then everybody said, oh no, let's go and get some trash, pour it into his car, and then get some cling film and then wrap his car. And at the time it sounded very funny, and we did it. Yeah, it was a little bit funny for the group, but when I think about it, how did it feel for the guy to have to see this and then to have to unwrap it and then you have to clean out all that stuff? It was just terrible. It's just a terrible feeling. And this is some of the things that when your wife comes in from work and then still sees this kitchen still undone, and then this job that you said you're going to do is still undone. It's just one of those sort of soul draining type things that she now continues, like just constant reminder of how you said one thing and then you didn't fulfill. So it's actually gets your mind thinking about it, and and some of that consistency isn't because you're failing to do it because you're lazy, or it's just that you haven't created that momentum outside that. And for me, like I said, momentum, I got it from the fact that I was going to Muay Thai, which absolutely changed my life. So for you, it could be different. It could be dancing, it could be anything that will keep you active, gets your mind fresh, gets your mind, feeling confident, gets you feeling confident, gets you wanting to be putting yourself out there and out of the comfort zone. Then when you do all of that stuff, it starts spilling into your family. So the way you speak to your kids, the commitments that you make with your wife or partner, all those things start spilling out into that. And then again, starts beginning to trust you, starts beginning to see another side of you. And that's what starts building that attraction and making you that irresistible person within that relationship. So hopefully that's something that's exciting you and that you can change. If you need any help with this, go to www.deadbedroomrevival.com and we'll be more than happy to help you with that. We'll send you a free guide, and when you also get a free guide, you also get an opportunity to get a Facebook group link where you can go and join our Facebook group, and then you can learn some skills and tools to empower your relationship. So I'm really excited to have you guys, and thank you for listening. Hopefully this has been helpful as much as it's been helpful for me. Thank you very much. Take care.